Hello everyone, this is Rosina Amolik from Fellowship Mission School. This video is going to cover Standard 11th, the first chapter, Basic Computer Organization. Topics to be covered are Introduction, Basic Computer Organization, in that input unit, output unit, the CPU that is Central Processing Unit, the memory, the storage unit, and the system bus. Next is the type of software. First is system software, application software, and software libraries. Next topic, transition from calculator to computer and smart devices, evolution of computers, and the last topic is troubleshooting computer operation. One by one, we'll see these topics in detail. So first, what is computer? Computer is an electronic device that can perform variety of operations in accordance with a set of instructions called as program. Now we all are aware with the definition of computer since grade 1 that it's an electronic device. Of course it works on electricity, so it's an electronic device. At a time it can perform number of operations together, and whatever operations are performed, those are nothing but set of instruction, a set of instruction which is fed in an application. Whichever application we use, those application has set of instruction which has to be followed. Next is basic computer organization, that is what does a computer comprises of. Computer organization refers to logical structure of a computer describing how its components are connected to each other. Computer organization is nothing but how the components or how the parts of the computer are connected or organized with each other. Computer follows IPO principle, that is input process output. I is input, P stands for process, and O stands for output. A certain input is processed to generate a specific output. We all know in our day-to-day life also we go through this. That is, suppose if I am asking someone to get a textbook from the next class. So that boy will go, okay, that will take whatever instruction I have taken as an input, and it will go to the next class, and that is that borrowing, that going, borrowing and coming back is nothing but the process, and giving me the textbook, that is the output. So this is called as your IPO cycle. This IPO cycle same works for computer organization as well. Next we'll see the structure, or we can say the function components of computer. The bus, 5 components: input unit, output unit, storage unit. Now this component comprises of 3 different things, that is ALU, registers and control. This whole component is termed as CPU. And the last is memory. In detail we shall see all the working of these components. So here we go with the first, that is input unit. The input unit is formed by the input devices attached to the computer. There is a difference between input unit and input devices. Input devices are through which we are giving some input data to the computer. An input unit is responsible to convert that higher level language to machine level language, or you can say binary language. Example of input unit: mouse, keyboard, joystick, optical mark reader, that is OMR, and etc. Input unit take input and convert it into binary form so that it can be understood by the computer. Now computer can understand only one language, that is binary language, which is not understandable by the humans. So we need a translator that can convert this language that can be understandable by the machines, and machines language can be understood by the human. So whatever human are trying to give the instruction to the machine, that is done by the input unit. So input unit is responsible to convert higher level language, that is human language, into binary language. Next is your central processing unit, that is CPU. The CPU is the control center for a computer. It guides, directs and governs its performance. It is brain of the computer. The CPU has three components which are responsible for different functions. These three components are control unit, that is CU, arithmetic logical unit, that is ALU, and registers. In detail, we'll see one by one. ALU stands for arithmetic logical unit. ALU can perform all four arithmetic operations and some logical operations. Arithmetic operators, we all know what are the arithmetic operators, that is the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So whatever data or instruction related with arithmetical or logical operations are performed by ALU. Logical operators, whenever you deal with logical operators, it gives answer whether true or false. That is, true stands for 1 and false stands for 0. Next is your CU, that is control unit. The control unit controls and guides the interpretation of all data and information. Whatever interpretation, whatever data or information is being processed, whether the signal is being sent to that particular thing or particular component or not, whether the user is getting the output or not, all this functioning is handled by CU, that is control unit. And last is registers. Registers are small unit of data holding places. It is used to hold temporarily some important processing information during the time of processing. Okay, so now what is registers? Whenever a data or information is being processed, so the place where that processing is being carried out, that place is called as registers. It will just hold that data for meanwhile of a some limited period of time, and then it can store in the actual memory or it can display the data to the user. Now next is your output unit. The output unit is formed by the output devices attached to the computer. Example, monitor, printer, etc. Output unit displays the output and convert it into higher level language, that is HLL, so that it can be understood by the user. As I told in the previous slide, that input unit is responsible to convert your higher level language, that is human language, into binary language. Similarly, output unit is responsible to convert binary language back to human readable language. Whatever is the output, that is understood by the user. Okay, next topic is memory unit, or you can say main memory or primary memory. Memory cell can be defined as a device which can store a symbol selected from a set of symbols. The memory of computer is often called as primary memory. It is generally the third component of CPU. A group of 8 bits is called as bytes and a group of 4 bits is called as nibble. Now we all know there is a unit to calculate memory. The least unit is bits. 1 bit is the least unit of the memory, and when it comprises 4 bits together it forms a nibble. When it comprises 8 bits together it forms 1 byte. Next we will see a table which has the various memory units. So here you can see this table gives you the maximum memory units so far. You all are aware with basic units, that is KB, kilobytes, MB, megabytes, GB, gigabytes, TB, terabytes. Next is parts of main memory or primary memory. First is RAM, that is random access memory. It is used to store the programs and data being used by the CPU in real time. Real time means the current time. Whatever the user is doing with the program or the data is being stored in RAM. The data on the random access memory can be read, written and erased any number of times. Okay, whatever work you do in RAM memory, that can be read, it means you can read it anytime. You can rewrite it, you can write how many times, number of times you want, and you can erase it number of times you want. RAM is a hardware element where the data being currently used is stored. Current processing of information, whatever you do on your PC, for example, this PPT is now opened in my system. So the current data which is being processed, that is stored in your RAM. RAM is a volatile memory. Now, what is volatile memory? It means whenever the power goes off, the content of the RAM gets erased. For example, right now, if the power goes off and my PC gets shut down, so but obvious, whatever files I have opened or the program is going to get shut down. There are two types of RAM, static RAM and dynamic RAM. Static RAM is also termed as SRAM and dynamic RAM is also termed as DRAM. So we'll see what is the difference. Static RAM stores a bit of data using the state of a 6 transistor memory cell, and DRAM which stores a bit of data using a pair of transistor and capacitor which constitute a DRAM memory cell. The difference is that SRAM takes up more space for a given storage capacity than do dynamic RAM but have faster access time about 10 nanoseconds than DRAMs. SRAMs are used in specialized application whereas DRAM are used in primary storage section of most of the computers. So this was about the first part of primary memory, that is RAM. Next type of memory is your ROM, that is read-only memory. It is a type of memory where the data has been pre-recorded. Pre-recorded means what? पहले से record किया है, we have to just use that data. Data stored in ROM is retained even after computer is turned off. That is non-volatile memory. In RAM we have seen RAM is a volatile memory. इसका मतलब क्या है? Whenever the PC gets turned off or whenever the system gets off, whatever data has been processed that gets erased. But ROM is a non-volatile memory. It means what? Whenever you will turn on your PC, turn on your system, the data is going to retain. That is, the data is not going to get erased. There are different types of ROM. First is programmable ROM, that is PROM. When the data is written after memory chip has been created, it is non-volatile. It means once the chip has been programmed, the recorded information cannot be changed. एक बार आपने वो चिप encrypt कर दिया, उसके बाद आप उसे change नहीं कर सकते हो. That is called as programmable. Once it is programmed, you cannot erase that data. Second is your erasable programmable read-only memory, that is EPROM, where the data on this non-volatile memory chip can be erased, exposing it to high intensity UV lights. Second type जो है erase कर सकते हैं, whatever program we have written on that chip can be erased. But how can we erase it? We can erase it by exposing it to UV lights. And the last is electrically erasable programmable ROM, that is EEPROM, where the data on this non-volatile memory chip can be electrically erased using filled electron emission. Okay, यहाँ पे अगर हमें data erase करना है तो हम electrically data erase कर सकते हैं by some process. That process is called as filled electron emission. So in first type of ROM, if the data has been written once, it cannot be edited or it cannot be erased. And second, we can erase the embedded data but by exposing it to UV lights. Third is, we can erase the data of that ROM but using an electronic field, that is your filled electron emission. Now we'll move to the next topic, difference between RAM and ROM. So here is the tabular format of difference between. First point, data retention. RAM is a volatile memory which could store the data as long as the power is supplied. जब तक आप power दोगे, till the electricity is there, the data is been seen or the data longs for there. ROM is a non-volatile memory which could retain the data even when power is turned off. Even if electricity is not there, the data has been stored inside the memory. The next point is data stored in RAM can be retrieved and altered. RAM में आप जो भी data store करते हो that can be erased. अगर आपको change करना है तो change कर सकते हो. If you want to erase it, you can erase it. Data stored in ROM can be only read. इसका मतलब you cannot manipulate with that data. Third point is used to store the data that has been current processed by CPU temporarily. जो current process होता है data वो कहाँ पे सेव होता है रैम में. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपके रजिस्टर में जैसा करंटली डेटा प्रोसेस होता है, सो दैट करंटली डेटा इज बीन स्टोर्ड इन योर रैम. In this, it stores the instruction required during bootstrap of the computer. Bootstrap of the computer means what? The beginning of the computer when you on your PC. So whatever instruction are required during the bootstrap, that is done by the ROM. Next, it is a high speed memory. In ROM, it is lower than the RAM. Next is the CPU can access the data stored on it. CPU can access the data of RAM. The CPU cannot access the data stored on it unless data is stored in RAM. रोम का डेटा जब तक रैम में नहीं स्टोर होता है तब तक CPU cannot access the data of ROM. Next point, large size with high capacity, your small size with less capacity. RAM is used in CPU cache or primary memory. ROM is used in firmware and microcontrollers. The data stored is easily accessible. RAM पे जो भी data store होता है easily access कर सकते हैं. The data stored is not and easily accessible as in RAM. ROM का जो भी data है it's not as easily accessible as of RAM. RAM is costlier as compared to ROM and ROM is cheaper as compared to RAM. So this was the difference between RAM and ROM. Next topic is storage unit. These are the types of storage unit. Storage unit has been broadly classified in three different categories, that is magnetic media, optical media and flash memories. Magnetic media, that consists of your hard disk. Then optical media consists of three different things, that is CD-ROM, DVDs and Blu-ray disc. And last is your flash memories, nothing but your pen drives. So one by one we'll see all this storage unit. First is your hard disk. A hard drive memory stores information on one or more circular patterns called as disks which are continually spinning. These rotating disks are coated with a magnetic material and stacked with space between them. Information is recorded on the surface of rotating disks by magnetic heads as a tiny magnetic spot. The hard drive of today have storage capacity measured in gigabytes up to terabytes. So here is the image I have shown you of a hard drive, or you can say hard disk. So this is the head through which the information or whatever data has been written, that is written on the CD, is with the help of this head. And this are the platters. If you have seen hard drives properly, there are lines on this platter that is used to store the information with the help of this head. Next is your compact disc, that is CDs. A CDs are optical media. A CDs are relative cheaper and have a storage capacity up to 700 MB. There are three types of CD, that is CD-ROM, CD-R and CD-RW. CD stands for compact disc, ROM is read-only memory. This is used only to store information and cannot be used to store data. It is mainly used for CD distribution, example encyclopedia, software, games and e-books. सीडी रोम क्या होते हैं? सीडी रोम जैसे आपकी जो गेम की सीरीज होती है, जो भी आप खेलते हो, ओके, वट एवर यू प्ले दैट गेम सीरीज, दोज आर नथिंग बट योर सीडी रोम. Once it is written, you cannot erase that thing. आप सिर्फ वो read कर सकते हो, that is you can only use it, you cannot edit that or you cannot erase it. Next is your CDR, that is recordable. It means once you have recorded any data in that disk, then you cannot erase that data. Then last is your CD-RW. RW is rewritable. Rewritable means what? Once you have written it and you can erase that data and you can write another data in that. It means multiple time you can write data on the particular CD. एक ही CD पे आप बार बार data erase करके लिख सकते हो. That is called as RW. That is CD rewritable. Now there is a difference between CD-ROM and CD-R. CD-ROM जैसे इनबिल्ड होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे मैंने आपको बोला गेम का सॉफ्टवेयर है, so that is inbuilt. Okay, you're just going to use it. And CDR is what we use. If I'm asking you to submit a presentation in CD, तो आप एक नॉर्मल शॉप से जाके एक प्लेन CD लोगे जिसमें आप डेटा इनक्रिप्ट करोगे. So that is CDR. We all know how does a CD looks like. Okay, so this is how does a CD looks like. Maximum capacity of CD is 700 MB. Okay, यहाँ पे देख सकते हो आप CDR लिखा है. So CDR means what? This. This CD is recordable one means ये CD पे आप एक बार लिखोगे then you cannot erase or edit that data. Next is your DVDs. DVD stands for digital video disc. DVD is an optical storage device that looks the same as a compact disc, that is CD, but is available to hold about 15 times as much information and transfer it to computer about 20 times as much faster as CD-ROM. इसका मतलब DVD same दिखता है CD जैसा, but the storage capacity of DVD is 15 times more than your CDs. A DVD is also called as a super density disk, that is SD, can hold up to 17 gigabytes of data or 4 hours of movie on a slide. There are three different categories of DVD as well. जो CDs की category थी, same category goes for DVD. DVD-ROM, DVD-R and DVD-RW. The same working is there for DVD as well. DVD-ROM, this only reads whatever is recorded. Record cannot be erased or cannot be rewrite. Once the user has recorded on it, then the user cannot edit it or cannot delete it. Then is RW. RW is number of times the user want to edit it or number of times the user want to change the content of the data, the user can do it. This is how your DVD looks. Here you can see the capacity of your DVD is 4.7 GB. So this DVD, here again it is DVD-R. So DVD-R means what? Recordable. So again this DVD can store 4.7 GB. Next is your flash memory. A flash drive is a small ultra-portable storage device which is a solid-state memory. That is, it has no moving parts unlike magnetic storage devices, nor does it makes use of laser unlike optical drives. Now we all are aware with flash memories. Flash memories are nothing but your pen drives. Now pen drives doesn't have any magnetic storage device or it is not used with the help of laser or anything. Instead, it works with a similar way as RAM. The key difference is that data is retained in flash memory even after the power is off. RAM और flash memory में difference क्या है? RAM में as soon as the power goes off, the data is erased. But in your flash memory, even if the power goes off, the data remains or retains in the same memory. There are now fairly inexpensive costing from 250 upwards. आपको पेन ड्राइव 250 में भी मिल सकती है या फिर more than that also. The size or the range of the pen drives are from 256 megabytes up to 128 gigabytes and beyond. This is the image how the flash memory is being seen. Next is your Blu-ray disc. It is also called as BD. It's an optical disc media. Its main use is high definition videos data storage. अगर आपको HD, high definition is what? Your HD. If you want to store any HD data, हमेशा HD video में size increase हो जाता है. So if you want high definition video, then you can use Blu-ray disc. The disc has the same dimension as standard CDs or DVDs. Dimension मतलब उसका circumference same है जैसे CD और DVD का होता है. Okay, now here currently optical disc, that is your DVDs, it rely on red laser to read and write data. But the new format uses blue-violet laser instead, hence it is named as Blu-ray disc. Your Blu-ray disc uses blue-violet laser, whereas your DVD uses red lasers. This is the difference between your DVD and Blu-ray disc. So you need to remember one thing, that your Blu-ray disc works on blue-violet laser, whereas your DVD works on red laser. Next point is, Blu-ray discs of today are capable of storing up to 128 GB of data. एक normal disk में आप 128 GB data store कर सकते हो. Your Blu-ray disc looks somewhat like this, and here it is written BDR, recordable. It means once you have recorded, then you cannot edit it. Now next is your system bus. It is an electronic pathway composed to connecting cables and that connects the major components of a computer system. System bus is nothing but a cable. This cable is used to connect all the components of your computer system. Through system bus, data and instruction are passed among the computer system components. With the help of system bus, whatever data and information is there, that is passed to the different components or different parts of the computer. The bus who is responsible to carry data is termed as data bus. The bus which is responsible to control information or control the instruction whatever is given, that is done by the control bus. And the address bus is responsible to carry the memory address to the different parts of the system bus. So next is your IO bus. IO stands for input output bus. So whatever your input and output devices are there, so it is attached to the IO bus. Here you can see the architecture of system bus. So this was about your basic computer organization. Hope so this video is useful for you to understand or clear the concept of basic organization of a computer. Thank you.